Oh, hello everybody. Setting up classroom for you today. Got a little sawmill hack, I guess you'd call it, or just thing to help you out determining what size of cant's going to be in a log. I'm setting up a classroom here. If you guys are a guy like me that ever tools a hammer, unless it's a screwdriver, in which case it's a punch, unless it's a flathead screwdriver, in which case it's a chisel, this will help you guys out. It's a quick, easy method to see what size square will come out of a round, a log, or close to round. If you guys were like me and sitting there and had to pound them shapes and them holes there and them little bitty things when you was a kid, or my kids did, you try putting that round one in that square hole, well, it wouldn't fit with a hammer they give you. At least it wouldn't fit. If you'd have a bigger hammer, I think it'd fit. I think that was all the problem in the world right there was if a bigger hammer don't fix it, it's electrical. So therefore, a bigger hammer would have fixed that situation. But without using a hammer, I'm going to show you guys a quick, easy way to tell what size of square cants in a roundish log. Simple as can be. I'm going to just set this up right quick, and we're going to walk right over here to a log. Give me just a minute, and we'll get this set up. We're going to use a square. You can do so much with a square. And I'm just setting this up here for basically a place to hang the square so I can show you guys. Beats trying to look down where I'd use that on a workbench or something. So let's go over here and we'll measure a log and we'll show you what we're going to do. Now on a log like this, you won't use the white wood. It'll rot off real quick. I got this sawed off. You can see this log is really only going to be viable from here to here. Everything else is going to be sapwood. Not worth having for lumber. It's a little bit wider this way, but we'll take a measuring stick and we'll see that that is, in the narrowest part right there, is about 8 1/4 inches. So that's what we're worried about for squaring up. If somebody wanted to know what size square cant they could get out of this, I can go back over here to square and I'll show you guys how to figure that out. Or if you've got a request, or if you need, it's common for people to call me up and say, hey, I got some utility poles, commonly called telephone poles, and I want 6x6s, or I want 5.5 by 5.5s. Can you get them? I said, well, measure a small end, tell me what you got. You can figure out what cant you're going to get out of a log, or you can take the size of cant you need and determine how big a log you need. So of course it works both ways. So let's go back to the classroom over here. All right guys, so we was over there, we got our 8-inch, we know we're at 8 1/4 inches. So now if he asks me, hey, what can I get out of that? Can I get a 7x7? You can take that over to your square here and measure in between at the corner, outside to outside, and then your straight edge, lay that across there at 7 and 7. I say, no sir, I can't get you a 7x7 out of there. That's going to take about a 9 7/8 inch cant to get that. Well, can I get a 6x6? Not quite, sir. You need 8.5 inches. I could leave you a little bit of white wood along the side, 8.5 inches. He said, well, dadgummit, what can I get? And I just keep going up until I find what's square. And I say, sir, I can get you, provided your log's straight. I mean, you got to figure that in. If she's bowed up like a rocking chair, of course, you may not get a toothpick out of it. But I can slide this up, even on both sides. And, well, about 8 1/4 inches, sir, I can get you about 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. He says, well, that'll work, or it won't work. Or if he says, man, I really need an 8x8, or I need a 10x10 cant, or whatever, what's it going to take to get me a 10x10 cant? And I can tell him over the phone he can use a square like this. I said, oh, that's going to take you about 12 1/4 inches to get a 10x10 out of it. Or if he wanted a mantelpiece, let's say he wanted a mantelpiece that was 4x8. Well, I can go up here to 4 inches and 8 inches and say, you're going to need a log, provided it's round, that's about about 9 1/8 inches. So guys, there's your little bit of a hack. It sure works nice on the sawmill. Like I say, I always keep this on there. If you're like me, yeah, I could calculate that, but it's a string of calculations and based on triangle, I guess, and whatnot. But hopefully I'll save you guys having a neck ache. If you're like me, you're so dadgum smart that, you know, any little piece of information just makes your brain heavier, makes your neck work harder. Next thing you know, you got back problems lugging that old heavy brain around. So if I can lighten the load on you, it's just so much easier with a square. She's got her all figured out. I'm trying to figure out how big of a square peg will fit in a round hole. And without using a bigger hammer, use a square. Guys, hope you enjoyed it. Appreciate her. Enjoyed it. Have a good time. We'll see you next time. I'll try to bring you something else enjoyable to watch.